Hi everyone. Welcome back to another session of Learning English Conversation with me. Today, we're going to explore a very interesting phrase that you might hear in casual conversations. Don't rub it in. This phrase is often used when someone keeps reminding you of a mistake you made or something embarrassing you did, and you want them to stop. Now, let's watch this example and pay attention to how the phrase "don't rub it in" is used naturally.
Don't rub it in, Mia. I already know I messed up.
I'm not rubbing it in, Liam. I just think we need to talk about it.
We've talked about it 100 times already.
Because it still hurts. You broke my trust, and I'm trying to process it.
I get that, but throwing it in my face every time we argue isn't helping.
I'm not trying to throw it in your face. I just need to understand why you did it.
I've explained it, Mia. It was a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly.
I know, but that doesn't erase how it made me feel.
And I've apologized a million times. What more do you want from me?
I want to feel like I can trust you again.
You can trust me. I've done everything I can to prove that.
But it's not that simple, Liam. Trust takes time to rebuild.
I understand, but constantly bringing up the past isn't fair.
I'm not trying to be unfair. I'm just being honest about how I feel.
And I appreciate that, but can we focus on moving forward?
I want to, but sometimes the past feels like it's still in the room with us.
It's only in the room because we keep inviting it back in.
Maybe, but healing isn't a straight line, Liam.
I know that, but it feels like we're stuck in a loop.
Because I need reassurance, and sometimes I feel like you don't get that.
I do get it. I just wish we could focus more on what's good between us.
I want that too, but I need to feel safe first.
I've been doing everything I can to make you feel safe again.
I know, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Then let's work together instead of tearing each other apart.
You're right. I don't want to keep bringing it up, but I need you to be patient with me.
I'll be patient, Mia. I love you, and I want us to move past this.
I love you too, Liam. I'm trying, I really am.
And I'll keep trying too. Let's leave the past where it belongs and focus on us.
Okay, but promise me, no more secrets.
I promise, no more secrets.
All right, let's try to move forward together.
Now, we are going to learn the phrase double whammy. This phrase is used to describe a situation where two unfortunate events happen at the same time or in quick succession, making things worse. Let's listen to the following conversation. Yesterday was such a double whammy for me. I don't even know how I survived it.
What happened? You look exhausted.
First, my car broke down on my way to work. Then, when I finally got there, I realized I'd forgotten my laptop at home.
That's rough. How did you manage to get through the day?
I had to take a cab, which cost me a fortune, and as for the laptop, I had to borrow one, but it didn't have the files I needed.
That really is a double whammy. Did your boss notice?
Oh, he noticed. I had to explain everything, and he wasn't too happy about it.
I can imagine. Did you manage to fix the car, at least?
Not yet. It's still at the repair shop, and they're saying it'll cost more than I expected.
Ouch, that's another blow. So, it's a triple whammy now?
Pretty much. And to top it all off, I spilled coffee on my shirt during lunch.
Wow, you weren't kidding about having a terrible day.
Yeah, it felt like everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Well, at least today's a new day. Hopefully, things turn around for you.
I'm crossing my fingers. I don't think I can handle another double whammy.
I hear you, but hey, what do they say? Bad luck doesn't last forever.
Let's hope that's true. I need some good news for a change.
Maybe the repair shop will surprise you and lower the cost.
That would be a miracle, but I won't hold my breath.
Have you thought about getting a new car? It might save you from future double whammies.
I have, but it's not in the budget right now. I'll have to make do with what I have.
Fair enough. At least you have a good sense of humor about it.
What else can I do? If I don't laugh about it, I'll probably cry.
Well, if you need help with anything, let me know. Maybe I can make your day a little easier.
Thanks, Sophia. I really appreciate that.
Anytime. Remember, even when life hits you with a double whammy, you're not alone.
That means a lot. I'll try to keep that in mind.
Good. And hey, let's grab coffee later. This time, no spilling allowed.
Deal. But if something goes wrong, don't say I didn't warn you.
No way. I'm declaring today whammy-free.
Let's hope the universe listens to you this time. Now, we're going to explore the phrase "come clean with me." This phrase is often used in conversations when someone is asking another person to be honest about something they might be hiding. It's a way of saying, "Tell me the truth or be open with me." Now, let's take a look at an example conversation using this phrase.
I need you to come clean with me, Jake. What's going on?
What do you mean, nothing's going on?
Don't play dumb. I've been noticing things lately, and they're not adding up.
Emily, you're overthinking this. Everything is fine.
No, it's not. You've been distant, avoiding certain questions, and you seem distracted. Just come clean with me.
Okay, fine. You're right. There's something I've been keeping from you.
I knew it. Why didn't you just tell me earlier?
I didn't want to worry you, and I thought I could handle it on my own.
Jake, we're supposed to be a team. How can I help if you won't be honest with me?
I know. I messed up. I was scared you'd be upset.
It's not about being upset, it's about trust. Come clean with me now. What's the real issue?
Okay. I've been struggling financially. I didn't want to admit it because it feels like I failed.
Jake, why didn't you tell me sooner? We could have worked on this together.
I thought I could fix it before it became a problem.
But it is a problem now. Hiding it only made things worse.
I know. I just didn't want to burden you.
Jake, your problems are my problems too. That's what relationships are about.
You're right. I should have come clean with you from the start.
Yes, you should have. But it's not too late to fix this. Let's figure it out together.
I don't deserve you, Emily.
Stop that. I'm here for you, but you have to trust me with the truth next time.
I will. I promise. No more hiding things.
Good. So, what exactly are we dealing with here?
I lost some money in a bad investment, and now I'm behind on a few bills.
Okay, that's manageable. We'll make a plan. But Jake, no more secrets, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry for keeping this from you.
I appreciate you coming clean now, but I need you to do it sooner next time.
I will. Thanks for being so understanding.
Of course, we'll get through this together.
It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
That's what honesty does. Remember that next time.
I'll never forget it. Thank you, Emily.
Always. Now, let's make a budget and tackle this problem head on.
Sounds like a plan. I'm lucky to have you.
We're lucky to have each other. Just don't keep me in the dark again.
The next phrase we'll be learning is right off the bat. It means something that happens immediately or without delay, often at the very beginning of an action or event. Let's take a look at the following conversation to understand how it's used in context.
Right off the bat, I knew this meeting was going to be intense.
Same here. The moment Mr. Carter walked in, his energy was different.
Exactly, he didn't even wait for everyone to sit down before jumping into the agenda.
Yeah, he dived straight into deadlines. No warm-up, no small talk.
It caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that level of urgency.
Me neither. But honestly, I appreciate his directness sometimes.
True, but right off the bat, it felt overwhelming, especially with the new project timeline.
Oh, don't remind me. 2 weeks to finish a proposal that normally takes a month?
Exactly, and he expects it to be perfect too.
I guess he's trying to push us, but it's a lot.
A lot is an understatement. I had to rearrange my entire schedule.
Same. I canceled my weekend plans.
Ouch. Were you planning something fun?
Yeah, a short trip with friends. But work comes first, I guess.
That sucks. I was supposed to visit my family, but now I'm stuck in front of my laptop.
I feel you. At least we're in this together.
True. Do you think the pressure will ease up after this project?
Hard to say. Mr. Carter seems like the kind of person who thrives on high stakes.
Yeah, he's definitely results-driven. But I hope he understands we're not machines.
Agreed. By the way, have you started on your part yet?
Not really. I was trying to wrap my head around the requirements first.
Makes sense. The guidelines felt a bit vague.
Exactly. I had to double-check with Lisa to clarify some points.
Lisa's great for that. She always breaks things down so clearly.
Yeah, she's been a lifesaver. Have you talked to her about your section?
Not yet. I was planning to catch her after lunch.
Good idea. Right off the bat, she'll probably have a checklist ready for you.
We need more people like her, honestly. It'd make things less stressful.
Totally. Let's just power through this. Maybe we'll celebrate once it's done.
I like the sound of that. Let's agree it's on you.
Fine, but only if we survive first.
That's our lesson for today. Hopefully, the phrases we've learned are easy to understand and can help you improve your English skills. Don't forget to practice using them in your daily conversations. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Please subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.